when they gave those team orders.
Yeah.
When they gave those team orders, and Russell was pissed as hell, right or wrong or indifferent. I think, from the data perspective, it was the right move to do.
Yeah.
But no one's going to take that lightly. Who's going to take that lightly? Step aside.
You never want to be
do
passed by your team. You never want to hear get out of the way for your teammate. The first person you want to beat as an F1 driver is the guy on the other side of the garage. That's like number one.
Welcome to the Paddock F1 with Greeny and the cheese. We're caffeinated, we're medicated. It's a podcast by fans for fans. Your dose of F1 news. All the races, all the tracks, and all the drama. Coming up on today's show.
Yes. Oh, that's how these time in the Paddock F1. Greeny and the cheese. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Hit that subscribe and like button, the thumbs up. What the hell you got there? Help us out here at the channel. Leave us a comment. Hit us up. Why the hell haven't you? If you haven't. But anyway, we are off from that long-ass summer break. It always feels like forever. But we are back. Cars are back on track. We are back. Round 12 takes us to the shores of the North Sea for the last time for quite a while. Back in the Netherlands or Holland, whichever one you prefer to call it, we are back for the Dutch Grand Prix. The Netherlands is known for those windmills, canals, tulips, cheese, and of course that beer. Give me some of that, of course, but this ain't no travel show, this is an F1 show, and we are racing the Zandvoort circuit. 2.65 miles, 14 corners. You give it the full beans for 62%. I'm gonna guess out there for your lap. But what a race we got for the last time at Zandvoort. Did not disappoint. The Orange Army's hero was out after lap 2 with a hard, massive hit. Lando, though, at the pace again. Back-to-back weekends, running away with the show, taking his second win in a row. Antonelli second. Russell rounds out the podium for a Merc 2-3. We are caffeinated. We are medicated. Greeny, good day, sir. Welcome back.
It is time to welcome back, and it's the summer reset, I hope, at least for my gambling predictions. We'll see about that a little later on the program. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, as always. Each and every one of you. We couldn't do without you. And too long of a summer break, cheese. Too long, but we're back. We're ready for the fall stretch here. As the summer turns to autumn, those who love summer, sorry. Those who listening down in Australia, who many are. Summer's just around the corner for you, so get pumped. In the Paddock, Greeny and the cheese again. Thanks for joining us. It was a wild day as Lando Norris, definitely not the favorite to win the race, comes out, wins, or maybe some people had him as a favorite. I don't know. It was really a three-way roll of the dice going in. George Russell definitely, I think, was many people's minds the favorite. I think that Norris and Antonelli were both right there in the mix, pretty much even, and that's what makes it exciting, man. You had three drivers pretty much evenly matched going in. We had a sprint race. We'll get to that in a little bit as well. But McLaren's back. Hello. Lando Norris. Hello. He's a champion. He's only 80 something points back. We were sitting here just last year, just right here, talking about Max Verstappen with more points. I think it was more than 100. I don't have it in front of me, but it was definitely more than 80 something. So we're in the same situation where a former champion is 80 something points back. That's what makes this exciting. The fact that you win 2 in a row. All right, 1 in a row, I get it, which is hard enough to win, especially against these 2026 Silver Arrows. But, man, 2 in a row, I know Lando Norris did a great job post-race playing the cool cat. You know, he's feeling it. He's giving himself a fist bump, and someone else who might have been a former champion might be slapping himself. We'll get to that in a little bit. But geez, what happened here? How did Mercedes not win? How did the favorite George Russell, or at least in many people's minds, the potential, favorite as far as the experts, quote unquote, were concerned, how did George Russell lose? How did Lando Norris win? And I'm sure we'll get to Lewis Hamilton too. I don't know, who was right there in the mix right to the very end. So take it away, sir.
Lando's back. McLaren's upgrades have definitely hit a home run with those, showing the last 2 races. So hello to that, of course. Personally, the better car won the race. I mean, I think pretty much most of the last number of races at Zandvoort, you've been won from pole. Even to the sprint race yesterday was won from pole. So pole position pretty much is a good spot at Zandvoort. Is pretty much your, very good odds to win the race from that point. But Lando was the quickest car on track today. Let's just be flat out honest. Antonelli struggled on that set of hards late in the race. That's why they had to bring him in under that, second to last VSC to put him on a different set of tires because he just didn't have any grip and couldn't get those tires fired up. Some drivers struggled on different sets of tires today just for random odd reasons. But the better car won the race today, as happened in Hungary. The better car won the race. The fastest car won. Lando was the fastest car out there by far. I mean, once he, even after Antonelli was let loose, passing when Russell let him through on the, newer tires, did not gain anything onto Lando at the end of the race. If anything, Lando pulled away a little bit from Antonelli. So there was nobody was beating Lando for damn sure. I mean, Antonelli still finished second. Was definitely the faster than George Russell. George Russell struggled a bit compared to the sprint race yesterday. Definitely struggled with, I think it was like the second stint. I think when they put him on the hards or something like that. Definitely was down on pace compared to the McLaren, and then also to the Ferraris. I mean, that last VFC saved his bacon and saved his podium. To be honest, otherwise, I think one of the Ferraris would have gotten him if there was no VFC there that took a couple laps before that was back to racing there at the end. So he had a little luck there too, just there, even though he's now in second in the drivers' standings. But he had a struggling race, and Antonelli definitely is the team lead in that team. Let's just be dead honest. There's no ands and ifs or buts about it at this point. I mean,
absolutely. When they gave those team orders,
yeah.
When they gave those team orders, and Russell was pissed as hell, right or wrong or indifferent. I think from the data perspective, it was the right move to do.
Yeah.
But no one's going to take that lightly. Who's going to take that lightly? Step aside.
I mean, you never want to be
do
passed
the job
by your
better.
team. You never want to hear get out of the way for your teammate. The first person you want to beat as an F1 driver is the guy on the other side of the garage. That's like number one. You want to beat the guy on the other side of the garage on your team because you want to be the top dog. So you definitely don't want to have team orders saying move your ass over. I mean, it was definitely the absolutely right move to do, strategy-wise. But it didn't pay off there either. So
listen, the only person I want to hear get out the way from is ludicrous. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. That's it. In the club that I've never been to. But You don't want to hear that, right or wrong or indifferent. And if you watched in the Red Room after, man, that tension was hot. That was hot. And it was really just Kimmy and George sitting there on the couch after the podium there, after the interviews. And I know you watch it. You watch religiously. I don't always 100% watch as I'm getting ready for the show. But I made sure to watch because the tension there was palpable. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely no. I always watch the top three in the red cool down room, as they call it, which is sometimes it's a cool down room. So you could definitely see this.
It was the Red Room today.
It was definitely the Red Room. I mean, there's definitely rivalry going on, and that's within that team right now. Russell came into the season, everybody's saying this is his year to win the championship, and the young kid across the garage is stealing his thunder. Let's just be dead honest. That's exactly what it is. So,
but didn't Lando Norris have the same thing last year? And what is the takeaway from that? What is the takeaway from Lando Norris, how he came back and won the title against Oscar Piastri? And what's going on now with...
Oscar totally crumbled last year. We'll see if that happens with Antonelli.
Pressure. It's getting hot. It gets hot.
I think the pressure gets hot. But I think the car is more for that team. For the Merc this year, I think the car is more in tune to Antonelli's driving style than it is to George Russell's driving style. Honestly, I think it's definitely more of a car than Antonelli prefers to drive versus George Russell. So I don't really, the age thing definitely can play into it. But right now, that side of the garage is still gaining more points than the guy on the other side of the garage. He still finished second compared to George Russell's third. He still gained points on George Russell. So, and the car is definitely more in tune than the car was in tune to Piastri versus Norris last year. I mean, they traded wins a bit back and forth there last year. So it wasn't like Piastri was completely running away with everything compared to his teammate across the other side of the garage. But versus this year with Antonelli's definitely far and away, way higher consistent and putting his car in those points than George Russell's been the last, number of races after the early start. So, but it's really about just, McLaren and, Oscar Piastri better put yourself on notice because your teammates putting up better numbers than you are right now, so you got to pick up your end of the bargain there too on your side of the garage. Otherwise, your ass is going to be in the hot seat for somebody else possibly taking that seat. So,
5 drivers within 87 points of first place, including Kimi Antonelli with 242 points. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
There's plenty of races to go. Plenty of races.
We've seen Max come back and make it just last year, 100 points out at this time. You have 4 drivers within 90 points of Kimi Antonelli's first. That is just exactly what you want. So maybe this new era, maybe this new era, when we talk about it in 20 years from now, could be in what's up. And could be that really leveling the playing field. But we will see maybe many years from now. But until then, I think it's time for me to strap on my helmet, rev up my engine, try to get around whatever craziness and madness you're going to be dropping on me, because it is another episode of Quizmaster's Cockpit. 3 questions. Hopefully I got 3 answers. I don't know,
we'll find out.
Chicken out on one of them.
Here we go. So question number 1. We're going to get right to it. So here we go.
Do it too. We got a lot of show to get to. So go.
This was the last Dutch Grand Prix for a while, for the foreseeable future. Who won the first Dutch Grand Prix in Formula One way back in 1952?
think it was Ascari. Alberto Ascari.
That is correct.
Bing. All right. Good start. Good
Good
first
start.
sector.
Don't have to slap yourself.
Mentioned it
Always
several
when you want
times
to
on the
start.
show. Well, who knows what
Question
other
number
curveballs are going to throw me here. Go.
Question number 2. Who won the last Dutch Grand Prix before it came back onto the calendar in 2001? That race was held in 1985.
I know this. You've asked this before, Cheese, and the answer is Niki Lauda.
That is correct, sir.
When I did not have the music of intensity ready to go on my list today. You whipped it right out, man. I mean that with no euphemism. We went right to number 3.
Right to number 3, very quick. Here we go. Question number 3.
The quicker you come up, the harder you might fall down.
A little
right?
different angle this time. Came across it during the week, actually, and I said this is going to be one hell of a trivia question. But including today, only one driver on the grid has completed every single lap. Who is that driver?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Which driver has completed every lap so far in the 2026 season? It's one driver who's completed every lap.
That's a good one. Racking my brain now. I don't know. I'm just going to throw it out there. Today's winner, Lando Norris.
That is incorrect, sir. The only driver to complete every lap so far, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis.
How about those apples?
Those are some apples. And I crumbled under the pressure like 2025 Oscar Piastri.
Right, so that'll take us into losers. So you need to get all 3. Ferrari. The qualifying freaking screwed them. I mean, they had a damn good, solid race car. Race pace was pretty damn good today.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, probably a little strategy mistake, as you know, per usual with the Ferrari pit wall. But definitely missed out in quality. So that definitely screwed them because, you know, there was passing at Zandvoort today, but amongst the top cars, there wasn't so much of that, to be, you know, really honest. So definitely missed out on quality, and that pretty much screwed them there because they could have probably had a 2-3, to be honest, today. So I'll give it to Ferrari.
I think Ferrari could have had a 2-3 today.
Yeah.
Lewis wasn't that far behind, sure.
Leclerc was right behind him, and there at the end too. They had solid race pace. Probably some better strategy calls.
No, he had good race pace. Leclerc did, and obviously in the sprint race. So all right. Not going too far out on a limb. Double podium for Ferrari. The odds of that were not good. I will look up those odds in a moment, but go ahead. Continue, sir. Let's see what Vegas had to say about your 2-3.
Williams still a freaking mess. Just, I don't know what the hell's going on over there. That team's just I don't even know anymore. I don't even know.
Just extend everyone's contract. It's fine.
Yep.
It'll work itself
So
out.
those will be my losers.
I mean, do I just start with Haas just to get it over with? Absolutely terrible. Shouldn't even be talking about him anymore. Don't deserve to be talking about him. I mean, Williams only makes the news because, you know, they're Williams, but another team that shouldn't even be talked about. They're just sad. Sad that both those teams just completely just non-competitive at all, especially with all the competitive teams out there. And I don't know, just for old time's sake, can I give it to Yuki Tsunoda just because he's back? Finished just outside the points. But if you're going to come back, you better be coming back strong. Right, Yuki? So, finished in 11th. Just for old time's sake. And those are my losers.
I just will go right into winners. That's rough. That's a rough loser, but just for
We
all
want to
time's
go with
sake.
Cadillac. I mean, Sergio at least finished like 15th, especially after all that. I mean, Aston Martin, we're still going to be pooping all over them constantly.
Yeah.
You know, who else you got, really? I mean, Racing Bulls did, you know, they weren't that bad odds-wise as far as, you know,
I don't know.
finishing
You
double top 10.
could have gave a loser to Isaac Ajar for breaking his wrist, punching a heavy bag, not being able to race, not being able to make the race. That's
Well, he should be getting the slap, but we gave it to someone else. But yeah, people do dumb shit. We should have beat up Hajar a little worse
I don't know
there.
why I didn't think of that until just freaking now.
We should have beat him up a little more. We
Must have
should have
got
had a
too
little more.
goddamn medicated or something. Because goddamn, that would have been. That's far better. We could have went that direction. We should just roll that right. And anyway, we're on the winners.
Hard left turn. All right, go ahead.
How about Liam Lawson jumping from the Racing Bull into the Red Bull and different car and throwing that thing in seventh in the points, getting it across the line. That's continuing his good performances that he's been throwing in recently. Nico Hulkenberg, that was some great passing.
Great job, all weekend.
Great all weekend. Audi actually showing a little bit of pace there, to be honest. So the whole coming alive, finishing eighth, and hell's yeah. So those would be my winners.
I mean, Fernando Alonso, the ageless Fernando Alonso. Jeez, it's coming in ninth. We didn't think Aston Martin would be doing anything this season at all. But Fernando Alonso just keeps showing up and proving himself that he doesn't belong on this team. Proving that what could have been if he ended up even at Alpine, right? With Aston Martin's doing, and again, that's all predicated on the fact that, Lance Stroll is a true Formula One driver if it wasn't for his father, right? Let's go in that, not fearlessly say that, but you got to give it up to Fernando Alonso and
definitely goddamn have to. For sure.
A little high five for Pierre Gasly, who just, as well, you put him in a better car. Who knows what he would have done? Give me a Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly on Racing Bulls and see what that season looks like. Put those two guys together and see what that season looks like in a car that's the quality of a Racing Bull, and see them competing for top
the
six.
The Alpine did have a bunch of heavy upgrades, so.
Yeah, well, only one driver took advantage of it, so.
Colapinto screwed himself, so. So could have put him in the losers category too and slapped him up.
Could have put a bunch of guys, but Anyway.
Well, it'll only take us to one more spot, I guess.
There is one more spot.
I need to slap my goddamn for that.
That is a slap of the week. A guy we didn't talk enough about, who's gotten so much time over the 200 episodes on this program, and that is Max Verstappen. I don't know what he was thinking. It was definitely user error. I don't think we have any disagreement about that. And, home race, obviously a race that he wants to show. A race that probably wouldn't be on the calendar if it wasn't for Max Verstappen's existence in the sport and giving him a home race. Absolutely out of control. Right on lap 2. Couldn't even make it through the first couple of laps. And the people that paid the big money, all right? The people that paid the big bucks to be there to watch Max Verstappen, potentially for the last time in another 26 years, who the hell knows when you might see Max Verstappen racing Zandvoort again, if ever. And you had to be paying premium bucks to get in that stadium that day. Just think about it. You got to get up early. You got to park. They're going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to get from the car into the stadium and then get to your seat and then sit there for the sun for hours and hours just for your boy Max. You're wearing your war paint and your orange. And then just immediately it's just over. It's just over. That's rough. And his teammate breaks his wrist. So, I mean, the absolute disaster. Max Verstappen absolutely went back in the trailer, got out of his car, went back, went to the bathroom, locked the door, and slapped himself. I guarantee it. So it was no surprise. Max, if you're listening, you're not surprised at all. You shouldn't be surprised at all. You should be slapping yourself. You probably did it before I even threw out the suggestion, but slap your damn self, Max Verstappen. And speaking of absurdities, slapping yourself.
Step right up to the show. Let the madness unwind. The wildest F1 stories that you'll ever find. Off the track, out of the box, completely blurry. Welcome to the theater of absurdity.
That's right. Theater of the Absurdity, of course, takes on a whole new level of absurd once again. I'm sick of the damn smoke. Can we stop with the smoke? Can we stop? Because now it's absurd. We've crossed the line into absolute absurdity with the orange smoke. I know it was Max's last race, which lasted all of 98 seconds, okay? I know you were pumped and excited. You can't all bring the smoke. You can't all bring them. When like 5 people brought them, that was cool. But you can't all bring them. And I'll tell you why. Because on the track, there was several different things that were missed. There was debris on track that was missed because of the smoke. And while it didn't affect the race, it could have affected the race. And you just can't have obstructions like this. I thought they were banned at one point. Weren't these smoke things banned in stadiums at one point? Am I wrong? Was I dreaming this?
No, I don't believe so. I think it might depend on. It might depend on like the country, maybe, but I mean, I'm sure.
Like you're not doing that in Singapore. You're not doing that in Singapore,
right? Right.
That wouldn't be good.
Probably not. No.
I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, if I had to throw out a guess there, that would not be the place to be lighting off those smoke bombs. Absolutely ridiculous. We are absolutely into the absolute absurd. It's over. It's over. You had your moment. You had your, I don't know, this is going on for a decade now. 8, 10 years with these smoke things, with the smoke sticks. How you getting them in? How you getting them in? I went to Madison Square Garden, and they were like sticking a rod up my ass going in there. And like, you're gonna tell me you could get these smoke bombs in these stadiums? Like, come on. Come on. It's absolutely absurd. It needs to end. Are you with me, Cheese?
Sure.
Would you ever bring a smoke stick to like an arena or like a game or something?
No.
You're not a smoke stick kind of guy.
That's not my style. That's
It's
not
not
my
your style. Not your
Not my
style to
style.
blow massive amounts of smoke in the random dude sitting next to his face. You got some grandma that just like came out there just to watch a race, and you got this guy who's had a little too much to eat and way too much to drink. No shirt, standing up and lighting off those things and just in your face. You didn't ask for this. You didn't ask for this. I'm pretty sure it was banned some.
Man. Try and pull myself together here. So we took that fancy ride to that fantasy island of Greentopia. Where the beer flows like wine, the wine flows like beer, and the cannabis, oh yes, my friends, it grows as far as the eyes can see. Look at it up there. Great and luscious. Take a little whiff. Ooh. Ooh. That air smells. And you take a little walk to the top of the hill. Look, see at the top. Take us in hand, are we cashing in or are we? Check it out.
Did we both good with the same results here?
Think so.
I might have come closer, but we still ended up with the same results here that we both picked. Lando Norris, Kimi Antonelli, and George Russell. 1, 2, 3 box plus 165. Those were the bets we both won. And I had Audi double top 10 plus 250. I got one of them, but not double of them. Red Bull double top 6. That ended pretty quick. Plus 500. That's a pretty juicy plus 500 there. George Russell plus 220 for the win. You also had that. You had Lewis Hamilton top 2 plus 300. A big juicy hamburger there. And Max Verstappen top 4 plus 180. It's only embarrassing because he embarrassed himself. And those are the bets. So do a quick little bit of math here. And we both lost for the week. Not terribly. Not terribly. We both bet 200 and we won back. What do we got here? Probably lost like 80 something each. I'll do the math later. So bet 200, won back around 120 on the bet. So both losers, equal losers. So since we're only going against each other, and I guess our own egos and integrities, it's I guess a loss overall. Cheers. It's every man's game now. Any man's.
Well, it's a long way to go.
Long way to go.
It's a long way to go. Long way to go.
All right, which brings us, as we wrap it up here, to the final segment of the evening, and that is in the news. In the news.
All right, I actually just found another story that I had come across during the week, so we might drop one here at the end, but let's get right off the start to the silly season stuff. Get that out of the way. Williams has re-signed both drivers, both Alex Albon and, shockingly, Carlos Sainz will both be coming back. I think they both signed multi-year deals. So one thing I know about that is that James Vowles is one hell of a salesman. That's all I got to say about that, to be dead honest.
Yeah, to be dead honest, I don't know how he sold that. I don't know how he must have sold his soul there, because first of all, it seems Alex Albon's definitely taken steps backwards over the last 2 years. You know, we were looking at Alex Albon 3-4 years ago as a guy potentially that can go to a Ferrari, go to a Red Bull in the future, be one of those guys.
Well, he bombed at Red Bull.
And, you know, it
Many
just
others
didn't
did
work
too.
out. He had the look. He had everything about, and still does, everything about being a world championship driver, and just totally did not work out. So I get it from his perspective. But Carlos Sainz coming from Ferrari, going to Williams, and, you know, driving some of the best cars in the world to now going to still some of the best cars in the world, but not as good as the cars he came from. It's gotta be tough. So, but where else is he gonna go? Where was Carlos Sainz's other option? You know, it's like, why did he stay there? It's great, but what was his other option? Where else was he going to go?
I don't think they're. I don't really. The only. I don't know. Maybe like. I think the rumor was like Alpine or something like that was definitely out there as a rumor.
So
Probably for like Colapinto or something, but perhaps that was not the case. You know,
I mean,
it's called the silly season for a reason. So
if the top 4 teams are sticking with their lineups for 2027, then there's not much leverage. It's really all the bottom 7 teams. It's just catch as catch can, and just get a seat. You know, and we'll see, But if you can't get into the top 4, I really doesn't think it matters. If someone's giving you a car for next year, sure. Is Audi better than Williams? Sure, but is Audi going to be better than Williams next year?
this
Who
point,
knows?
I would have far more confidence in Audi outperforming Williams than Williams outperforming Audi, and that's just based on what I've seen out of both teams over the last few years. I'll just say that.
And that shouldn't be. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make. So
Yeah, so I
things
would
turn around
definitely
quickly.
far
Things
more.
turn around quickly. Money
Things
talks.
definitely do.
And Formula One is just a very interesting sport. Racing in general is a very interesting sport like that. And we'll see what happens. All right, what else you got?
Of course, the other big kahuna for silly season was that Max Verstappen has extended his deal at Red Bull through the 2030 season. Max came out and said that he was closer to retiring than he was to going to a rival team. I mean, I don't think that's that much of a shocker, to be honest. We've discussed it on this program. I don't think you could walk away from the power he has within that team. That's just my gut. And they will do whatever the hell they can do. They will throw whatever money they have to. Red Bull itself will, to get that team in that car back to the top. So
When you're that's synonymous with a team. It's very hard to separate yourself and go somewhere else. You know, I mean, yeah, did Lewis Hamilton do it from McLaren to Mercedes? Yeah, but you really gotta win a lot to do that. Max Verstappen was never in it for the money grab, I don't think. So he's makes plenty, and so I think in that situation, it's not about money for him. So if it was, he could have made a deal somewhere else. But I think to maximize his money, yeah, because he could have a bigger stake in Red Bull. It's really hard to walk in the door, say at a Ferrari or Mercedes or McLaren, and say I want a percentage of the company. Yeah, they could, but if it goes sour, it's really bad. If it goes sour at Red Bull at any time, so I'm talking about like his skills as a driver, right? If it ever goes sour at any time, I really believe that they're not in the worst shape as far as Max's life because of everything he gave. But if he goes to a Mercedes or a McLaren and asks for, 5% stake in the organization or something like that and doesn't live up, that's a problem. If he does the same exact thing with Red Bull, and I'm just making up numbers, it's not as detrimental because of what he gave to the organization. Follow what I'm saying?
No, I'm picking up. I'm picking up what will you be putting down,
So
sir?
he has all the leverage, and he was. I don't think he was ever going anywhere else. I don't think there was ever a place for him to go
That's
anywhere
what he
else.
said. It said that
I
too.
think.
So.
I think the Lewis to Ferrari thing created a spectacle in people's minds about a top driver going somewhere else. We have to look at Lewis's age and where he's at in his career versus where Max is in his career. Very different places. And
Max was rumored to be leaving Red Bull last season too during silly season. So this isn't like anything shockingly new in that regard.
you gotta
He's the best driver on the grid.
People gotta work. People got jobs, and their jobs are to fill spaces on paper or spaces in the interwebs, in news articles, so people could read stuff on their train from their miserable lives as they're going to work. And be like, look at this rich asshole. His life is just as miserable as mine. And whatever misery you could squeeze out of that lemon, whatever controversy you could do to someone's life, that's what people enjoy. So, of course, no one knew anything, I don't think. I don't think anyone knew a damn thing of what Max was going to do outside of Max. And I think, again, to even philosophize the other way, which we did because we're trying for clicks and people to listen. So we supply the same crack everyone else is slinging. Alright, so we're no different. I'm not going to lie. That's all I got to say about that.
Here we go. Forgot about this one in our pre-show brief, but
Throwing a curveball.
Here's a tinfoil hat story for you. Lewis Hamilton has won the Drivers' Championship every year. There has been a total solar eclipse in August during the 21st century. I'll give it to you. 2008. It's a total solar eclipse in August. Lewis Hamilton won the Drivers' Championship with McLaren. 2017 was a total solar eclipse in August. Lewis won the Drivers' Championship with McLaren. If you recall, it was a total solar eclipse in the month of August of 2026. Just throwing it out there. Get that tinfoil hat, baby. Get that tinfoil hat out. Wish I gotta make one.
You think you really think the universe gives a damn about Lewis Hamilton?
Hey, I'm just throwing it out there, sir. I came across it. It was very interesting.
I'm gonna go with the nihilist view of it. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. But it is interesting.
If it freaking happens, that'll be some shit. That's all I'll say.
I mean, if he comes back and races till he's like 117, does it for every solar eclipse in the entire century.
It would be in the month of August.
Then I would change my opinion. For sure. Coincidence is a son of a bitch, but you know. What are you gonna do? Alright, what else you got?
Well, Cadillac changed his team principal during the breaks as they're an absolute disastrous mess. Marcin Budkowski has taken over the helm. How long do you think he'll be in that seat for?
Who the hell cares? It's a revolving door. Every time you switch a seat like that, it just gets in the news, and that's where they want to be, is in the news.
Well, they're an absolute disaster. I mean, the reliability for Cadillac right now is in the toilet, dude. So
Yeah, I think they had at least one DNF every single race, pretty much. At least they got good drivers to give them good feedback, and that was the whole premise of the whole season that we knew this was going to happen.
Feedback. They can't even get good feedback because the car lasts 3 laps before the brakes overheat and they got to park it.
Yeah.
So it's been a freaking absolute mess there for it's an absolute mess.
Sergio finished today.
I think you think it's you had to fire the guy, bring somebody else in, and try and get something going on. Get some new direction from the top. Hopefully it bleeds down, and because it's a total shit show and a dumpster fire.
Well, I don't think you weren't expected to be this bad. It's really bad, and
well, it's from where they started the season to where they are now. It's gone instead of going upward, it has gone down.
Yeah, we don't want to go down. You staying even, that's okay. Going up, especially your first season, total bonus. But also justifying the fact that we have 11 teams on the grid. We had, the whole entire Cadillac caused the entire format of Formula One to change as far as qualifying, as far as everything, adding from 20 to 22 cars. So everything changed. So, anyway, let's leave it at that. We got a lot more to get to next week, and we got a race coming up. Where are we going next, sir?
Fortnight's time. We are going to the Temple of Speed, baby. Monza. We get a week off in between.
All right, we'll probably be back next weekend sometime at some point to drop a little 20 to 30 minute banger on you and give you a little news update. Unless there's a major signing or something crazy going on, we will see you next week. As always, say what you got to say, brother.
As always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Help us out with the channel. Hit that subscribe and like button. As always, stay medicated, my friends.
Peace.
With Greeny and the cheese. Coming live from the US of A. Podcast Groove. The boys bring you the F1 news. Everything you need, so you know just what to do. And it's all alright, 'cause they do it right. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese. Ferrari's gonna drive you crazy. Mad Max, he's so amazing. McLaren, Merc, and more. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese. And they know their way around the track. When you need the facts, you can trust them. They won't steer you wrong. Always right on time. They know their way around a microphone. And it's all right, 'cause they do it right. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese.